Hello everyone, welcome to second quarter. This is week 1, lesson 1, adding and subtracting fractions. Still with me, Teacher Marcel. In this video, I'm going to teach you an easier way of adding and subtracting fractions. I hope you will learn a lot. Let's take a look at our first example. We have 1/2 plus 1/5. Normally, when we solve equations like this, we use the LCD or we look for the LCD. But in this video, we will not use LCD anymore. Okay, so we'll just follow these 5 simple steps. First is to multiply the denominators. So we have 2 and 5. Let's multiply them. 2 times 5 equals 10. 10 will be our denominator. Then multiply the first numerator diagonally to the second denominator. Right? Or we cross multiply. So 1 times 5 is 5. Then copy the symbol, which is addition or plus. And then third, multiply the second numerator diagonally to the first. So we cross multiply. 1 times 2 is 2. Then we add the numerators. So let's add. What is 5 plus 2? 5 plus 2 is 7. Then copy the denominator, which is 10. Now, is this already our final answer? Yes. Why? Because 7/10 is already in its lowest term. Make sure that your final answer is in its lowest term. Let's take a look at our second example. We have 3/4 plus 4/7. We will apply the same steps. So first is to multiply the denominators. We have 4 and 7. 4 times 7 will give us 28. That will be our denominator. Then multiply the first numerator diagonally to the second denominator, or let's cross multiply. 3 times 7 is 21. Then copy the symbol, which is plus. Then 4 times 4 is 16. Alright, so the next step is to add. We will add the numerators. 21 plus 16 will give us 37. Then over 28. Is this already our final answer? No, not yet. Why? Because this is an improper fraction and we cannot have an improper fraction as our final answer. So we have to change this to a mixed number. Do you still remember how to change an improper fraction to mixed number? That's right. Let us divide 37 by 28. How many 28s are there in 37? 1. Then 1 times 28 is 28. Let's subtract. We have 9. All right. So this is 1. And the remainder 9 will be our numerator. And we will just copy the denominator 28. Now, how do you check? You multiply 28 times 1. That is 28 plus 9. 37 over 28. All right. So our answer, 1 and 9, 28 is correct. So that is already our final answer. On our next example, I will give you time to solve it on your own. Pause this video, solve the given problem, and when you're done, play the video again and check your answer with mine. All right, let's check together. So the first step is to multiply the denominators. So 4 times 8 will give us 32. Then multiply diagonally the first numerator to the second denominator, or let us cross multiply. So 1 times 8 is 8. Copy the symbol, which is plus. Then 3 times 4 is 12. The next step is to add the numerators. 8 plus 12 is 20. Copy the denominator 32. Now, is this already our final answer? Not yet, because we can still express this in lowest term. We can still divide both numerator and denominator by 4. Their greatest common factor. Okay, so what is 20 divided by 4? That will give us 5. Then 32 divided by 4 will give us 8. Now 5/8 is already in its lowest term. We cannot divide it anymore by any other factor except 1. So the final answer is 5/8. Did you get the same answer? Very good. Let's have our fourth example. We have 1 1/3 plus 3 3/5. What do you notice? Yes, that's right. We have two mixed numbers. Now I'm going to teach you two possible ways on how to solve this equation or this problem. And then it's up to you to decide whichever is easier for you to follow. All right, so the first way that I'm going to teach you is to change these mixed numbers first to improper fractions. So how do we do that? Let's change 1 1/3 to an improper fraction. So we multiply the denominator by the whole number. 3 times 1 is 3. Then we add the numerator. So 3 times 1, 3 plus 1 is 4. Then we will just copy the denominator. So 1 1/3 is 4/3. They are just the same. Then let's change 3 3/5 to an improper fraction. Same method. 5 times 3, 15. 15 plus 3 is 18. Copy the denominator, 5. So 3 3/5 is 18/5 in improper fraction. Remember, they are just equal. Then we can now apply the steps that we did in our previous examples. So we multiply the denominators 3 and 5. What is 3 times 5? That's right, 15. Then we cross multiply. 4 times 5 is 20. Copy the plus sign. 18 times 3 is 54. Right? We already did the multiplication part. Now let's add the numerators. We have 20 and 54. What 20 plus 54? It will give us 74. Then over 15. Is this already our final answer? That's right, it's not yet our final answer. Why? Because it's in improper fraction and we have to change it to a mixed number. So how do we do that? We divide 74 by 15. Right, so how many 15ths are there? How many 15ths are in 74? 4. 4 times 15 is 60. Then let's subtract. 4 minus 0 is 4. 7 minus 6 is 1. So 74 15ths when changed to a mixed number is 4. And the remainder here will be our numerator. And the divisor here will be our denominator. So our final answer is 4 and 14 15ths. All right. So another way that you can do is to add the whole numbers first. So 1 plus 3 will give you 4. Right? Then we will add separately these two fractions. So we have 1/3 plus 3/5. Then we will apply the steps that we are doing in our other problems. So let's multiply our denominators. 3 times 5 is 15. Then cross multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 3 is 9. Then let's add the numerators. 5 plus 9 is 14. Then copy the denominator 15. Right? And we will just copy this fraction here in our whole number, 4 and 14 15. Or you may just put the whole number here. Okay? And what do you notice? That's right. We got the same answer. 4 and 14 15ths. So whether you do it this way, the first way, or the second way, it's up to you. Which is easier for you, the first way or the second way? You decide. Now let us subtract fractions. We will apply the same steps. It's just that instead of adding, we will subtract. Alright, so let's have example number 1. We have 3/4 minus 2/7. Same step. Multiply the denominators. Okay, so what is 4 times 7? 4 times 7 is 28. Then, same thing, cross multiply. 3 times 7, 21. Copy the symbol minus. Then 2 times 4 is 8. Then subtract the numerators. 21 minus 8. It's 13. Then copy the denominator, 28. Alright, so is this in lowest term? Yes, there are no other common factors except 1. So our final answer is 13/28. Let's have our second example. 3/4 minus 1/8. Same thing. Multiply the denominators. 4 times 8 is 32. That will be our denominator. Then cross multiply. 3 times 8 is 24. Copy the symbol minus. 1 times 4 is 4. Then subtract the numerators. 24 minus 4 is 20 over 32. Is that already our final answer? Not yet. This is divisible by 4. Create a common factor, 4. Okay, so 20 divided by 4 is 5. And 32 divided by 4 is 8. So our final answer is 5/8. On our third example, I will give you time to solve. Pause this video, solve it on your own, and when you're done, play this video again and check your answer with mine. All right, let's check together. First step, multiply the denominators. 2 times 5. That will give us 10. Then cross multiply. 1 times 5 is 5. Copy the symbol minus. 1 times 2 is 2. Then let us subtract. 5 minus 2 is 3. Copy the denominator 10. Is this already in lowest term? Yes. We cannot divide it on any other number except 1. So this is already in lowest term. And our final answer is 3/10. Did you get the same answer? Good job. On our fourth example, we have two mixed numbers. And again, I will teach you two possible ways to solve this. So the first way is to change these mixed numbers into improper fractions. So let's change 3 and 3/4 to improper fraction. 4 times 3, 12, plus 3, it's 15. Copy the denominator 4. Minus 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2, 7. Copy the denominator 5. Now that we've changed mixed numbers into improper fractions, we may now apply the rules that we did in our previous examples. So multiply the denominators. That will give us 20. Then cross multiply. 15 times 5, 75. Minus 7 times 4 is 28. Now let's subtract. The numerator 75 minus 28 is 47 over 20. Is this our final answer? You're right. This is not our final answer. We need to change this to mixed numbers because it's an improper fraction. So how many 20s are there in 47? That's right. There are 2. And with a remainder of 7, then let's copy the denominator 20. All right. So 7 over 20 is in lowest term. So let's just check if our answer is correct. 20 times 2, 40 plus 7 is 47 over 20. So this is correct. Our final answer is 2 and 7 over 20. All right. So the other way, again, is to subtract first the whole numbers. All right. So 3 minus 1 equals 2. Then let's subtract separately these two fractions. So it's 3/4 minus 2/5. Okay, and then let's apply. So 4 times 5 equals 20. Then cross multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. 2 times 4 is 8. And 15 minus 8 is 7 over 20. Okay, so let's just copy the whole number here, which is the 2, or you copy the fraction here. So our final answer is 2 and 7/20. And as you can see, we got the same answer. So whichever way you do it, you should get the same answer. It's up to you. which is easier? Now try this. Let me see if you've learned our lesson. Copy these 6 problems in your math notebook. Show the solution and box your final answer. We will check it on our next meeting. For your mastery check, answer the homework posted in Schoology. I hope you learned a lot. Until next time, I'll see you soon.